recording in progress. So I'm going to start the topic of today, that is JDBC. And before starting of the JDBC, I'm going to give you a quick recalling of what we have already done in the previous classes about JDBC. Why this recalling is important? Because in your this evaluation, JDBC was not part of your syllabus for evaluation syllabus. So I am not expecting that anyone of you has done so much revision of JDBC. That's why it is good actually. So we were working on the project. The name of the project was SB101, block number 25, JDBC example 1. And there, if you wanted to connect your database to the JDBC, then you remember that first of all, we used to create a new project. Within the new project, we used to create a lib folder. And within the lib folder, we have to paste MySQL connector jar file. Once the MySQL connector jar file is pasted, then we have to attach this file to the class path of the project. And to attach this file to the class path of the project, first we have to right click on the project. There is option available build path. Within the build path, there is configure build path. After clicking on configure build path, one dialog box is available. Within this dialog box, you need to click on the libraries tab. After clicking on the libraries tab, you need to click on class path. After clicking on the class path, you need to click on add jar. Then from your project, from the lib folder, you have to select the jar file. Once the jar file is getting selected, then just click on OK. Then you need to click on apply and close, and jar file will be available in the list of referenced library. This is how actually you can connect your jar file. This is point number 1. Then I'm talking about the remaining things. If you wanted to make connection to the database, then definitely to make connection to the database, the very first line that you need to write down is class.forName com.mysql.cj.jdbc.driver. But here actually one more point that I wanted to add for you. From JDK 1.6 and onwards, if you are not writing this line explicitly, still there is no problem, because once you have attached a library in your class path, then it will automatically be loaded by your class loader. So the class.forName com.mysql.cj.jdbc.driver class, using the syntax is not compulsory. This is optional. If you are using, then it is okay. If you are not using, then there is no problem. Clear, everyone? This is the one new thing that is for you. Then we have to specify the URL. The URL is going to be jdbc:/mysql:/localhost. Why we are using the localhost? Because our database and our Java code, they are available on the same machine. Because they are available on the same machine, so the server name is going to be localhost. Apart from this, I told you that you can write down :3306 also, such that the :3306 is the port number. :3306 is the port number. After this, then we used to write down name of the database. So this line is perfectly going to be common for all the projects. Just you need to make changes is here, name of your database. After changing the name of the database, then definitely username and password. This is the same username password that you have provided at the time of installation. Then there is connection available. Connection equal to driver manager.getConnection. The first parameter is going to be URL, second parameter is going to be username, and the third parameter is going to be password. If the connection is successful, then an object of connection will be available to you. Otherwise, you will find an exception, and the name of the exception is going to be SQL exception if there is any problem in the connection. Similarly, let's say that if the driver class is not available, then in this case, you will find one more type of exception, which is called class not found exception. So class not found exception will be thrown by class.foundName method, but SQL exception will be thrown if there is any problem during database connection, during query firing, or during closing of the connection. Clear, everybody, how to connect to MySQL database? Okay. Thereafter, if you wanted to fire the query, then definitely to fire the query, there are two different things available. The very first thing is available, that is called statement interface. And one more thing available, that is called prepared statement interface. The first is available statement, and second is available prepared statement. So if I wanted to get the object of the statement, Then using the connection, I have to call the create statement method. When I'm calling the create statement method, then definitely statement object is available to me. Thereafter, we are writing string insert query equal to insert into employee values, something else there. Then if you wanted to execute a DML statement, then definitely for the DML and DDL statement, you have to call execute update method. You have to call execute update method. If it is DRL statement, then definitely execute query method will be there, but we will discuss example of the same. What is the return type of execute update? The return type of execute update is always an int value that shows that how many records are getting affected by this DML statement. If it is an insert statement, then definitely how many records inserted. If it is an update statement, means how many records are getting edited. If it is a delete statement, then how many records are getting deleted. Counting is what you are going to get from the execute update method. Is that clear? Yes, it is. So definitely if the number of record inserted is more than 0, then record inserted successfully. Otherwise, record not inserted. Right now, everybody, you can see one thing, that if I'm talking about this query, in this query, there is no user input. In a query, if there is no user input, then such kind of query is referred as static query. Getting my point? The query that does not have any user input, such kind of query is referred as static query. On the other hand, if I'm talking about the update main class, into the update main class, you can see that into the update query, we are providing user input also. If user input is available there, then such kind of query is referred as dynamic query. So what is static query and what is dynamic query? I hope this point is clear to all. Yes or no? Clear it is? That's great. After having this discussion, so shall I write down one more example, and such that this time I will use prepared statement, and we will use ResultSet also. So initially it will be good to set the agenda of today. Into the agenda of today, what we are going to discuss, about prepared statement. Then we will discuss about one more thing that is called result set. These are the two main things that we are going to discuss. Third thing may be possible if the time permit, then I will discuss to you about one more thing, and this thing is referred as DAO pattern. Initially we will discuss about need, then definitely tomorrow we will discuss about the remaining part also. So today's class is going to be, you can say that I'm going to cover JDBC again from the scratch, from the very starting. So first of all, everyone, I'm going to create a new project, new Java project, and name of the new Java project I am writing is SB101 underscore block number 25 underscore, I am writing here JDBC underscore example number 2. SB101 block 25 JDBC example number 2 is what I am writing. And thereafter, everyone, clicking on next. After clicking on next, then definitely clicking on directly finish. The project is available there. The very first step, shall I create a lib folder? Yes, I have to create first a folder. Name of the folder I am calling is lib folder. Then within the lib folder, I have to copy the MySQL connector jar file. Yes, it is. So if you wanted to copy the MySQL connector jar file, even directly you can Control C from here and then directly click on the lib folder, and then you can Control V here. This is the shortest way available to copy the jar file. Third step, I have to attach this jar file to the project using the build path. So very first thing I need to do, right click, go to new. After going to new, first of all, do the right click, then go to build path. Into the build path, configure build path. After clicking on configure build path library, then class path, then click on add jar. After clicking on add jar, in the same project, go to the left folder, then definitely MySQL connector jar file, click on OK, click on apply and close, and you have done. So how to attach a jar file? If it is clear for all, then please write 1 on chat. So actually you can see to verify. Can you see that in your project, apart from JRE, within the reference library section, can you see that this file is available? If you wanted to check whether my jar file is attached properly or not. So simple, you can see. Let's say, for example, if I am opening a common project, within the common project, within the common project, no, but this is also for the revision batch. Let me open some other project. Okay. Into this project, can you see that only JRE is available? Normal SB101, it is block 23, normal project. Normal project means it is not having any external library. So right now here only JRE is available. But if I'm talking about your both the projects that I have created, apart from JRE, reference libraries are also available. And within the reference library, you can see list of attached jar file. This is how you can verify whether your file is attached or not. Clear? Okay. So we are here. Now actually it will be good to create a database, then it will be good to create a table. If I'm talking about creating a table, creating a database, so let me come back to MySQL again. And after coming back to the MySQL again, I wanted to create a new database. So definitely to create a new database, I'm writing here, let's say that create database. The name of the database I'm writing is SB101 underscore block 25 underscore example number 2. Normally, I used to keep the project name and database name, both are same. So I should not get confused in future, but this is not compulsory. So database is created. And after creating the database, then I wanted to use the same database. So definitely to use the same database, we have to write down use SB101 block 25 example number 2. For today, I am having a table. The name of the table is called student table. Within the student table, ID is available. It is integer and it's a primary key. And I wanted to add one more thing here, that I wanted to make it auto increment. Roll number varchar 4 is there. Name varchar 25 is there. Percentage double 4,2 is there. Admission date of date data type is here. So you can see in this example, we are dealing with the integer data type also. We are dealing with the string data type also. We are dealing with the double data type also. And apart from the double data type, we are dealing with the date data type also. So this is going to be an example where all the data types will be covered. First of all, let me write down the query. Create table student. After writing create table student, definitely all the details I have to copy here. ID integer primary key auto increment. Roll number varchar 4. Name varchar 25. Percentage double 4,2. And definitely then the next thing is going to be admission date and date. Copy this query, coming here, right click, hitting enter. Then I'm writing DESC student, semicolon. You can see that entire structure is available for you. You can see that entire structure is available for you. If I'm talking about auto increment, then as the name already suggests, for the auto increment, value will be generated automatically. For the first student, value for ID column will be 1. For the second student, it will be automatically 2. For the third student, it will be automatically 3. Auto increment, we have already discussed into the SQL part. If you remember the heading, that is the difference between delete and truncate. Did you remember? Difference between delete, truncate and drop. There actually I had discussed about the same thing. Yes, it is. That's great. That's great. So describe student is here. Now I wanted to perform CRUD operation. Now I wanted to perform CRUD operation. And CRUD operation, C is for create, that is practically for insert. R is for read, U is for update, and D is for the delete. So this time everyone, first of all, definitely the very first thing that I need to do is I need to establish connection. The very first thing that I need to do is that I need to establish connection. So this time actually I'm doing one job. First of all, let me create a package. Name of the package that exactly I am writing is com.masai school dot let's say that I'm talking about DB is the name that I'm writing, name of the package. Within the DB, This time, let's say, for example, I'm creating one more class, and name of class initially, for example, let's say I'm writing this is going to be my main class or DB main class. Let's say once the DB main class is created, then I'm talking here public static void main. So very first thing that I need to do is, first of all, definitely I have to establish connection to the database. Yes or no? Yes, it is. And whenever I wanted to establish connection to the database, then definitely the very first line that I need to write down, not compulsory, but I am in the habit of writing the same. We have to write down com.mysql.jdbc.driver. This is the very first line that I'm writing. Then I need to write down that is connection equal to, then we have to call driver manager dot get connection. While calling the driver manager dot get connection, first value is required to be for the URL, second value is required to be for the username, third value is required to be for the password. So it will be good to create the URL here. So we are writing URL equal to, it's going to be JDBC colon mysql colon /. Then we have to mention localhost 3306 is optional. Then you need to write down name of the database. You need to write down name of the database. So let me copy the name of the database from here, and I'm pasting name of the database here. Next thing that we have to write down is the username, and the value of username is going to be root. Thereafter, we are writing the value of next, that is called password. And let's say that the value of password is again going to be same value. So into the connection, the very first thing that I'm specifying is URL. The second thing that I need to specify is going to be user, and the third thing that I need to specify is going to be, let's say that, password. So connection is available for you. Into the catch block, we have to deal with the two types of exception. The very first type of exception is called class not found exception, and definitely the second type of exception is referred as SQL exception. So is that okay, everybody? About making connection comfortable? Yes, simple one. Simple one. If you wanted to close the connection, then definitely to close the connection, you need to write down con.close. You need to write down con.close. Okay. So far, get connection part is done. The very first thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to perform the insert operation for the student table. I wanted to perform the insert operation for the student table. And definitely, if I wanted to perform the insert operation, then because I wanted to take input from user, and whenever I wanted to take input from user, then definitely I have to create object of a scanner. And while creating the object of a scanner, we used to pass system.in. We used to pass system.in. So initially, everybody, because I'm writing about the insert operation, so let's say that step number one, I'm saying that take input from user. Take input from user. If I wanted to take input from the user, then definitely to take input from the user, do I need to take input this ID? Do I need to take input this ID? No, definitely, because it is auto increment value automatically generated. So the very first thing that I wanted to take input is the roll number. The second thing that I wanted to take input is the name. Third input that I wanted to take is percentage. And fourth input that I wanted to take is the admission date. Fourth input that I wanted to take is the admission date. So first of all, let me take the roll number input, because roll number is going to be definitely a single line. So we can write down SC dot next year. Similarly, I wanted to take input name. So let's say that name is also a single word string. So I am writing this thing also. The next thing that I wanted to take input is the percentage, that is going to be of type double. So I am writing the data type double here. Then we are writing here percentage equal to. And this time I have to call the method, that is sc dot next double method. Fourth thing that I wanted to take input is the admission date. And definitely there is no direct method available to take date input. So what I'm going to do, I will take the date input in the form of string. I will take the date input in the form of string. And once the date is available to me, then can I use local date dot parse method? I hope you are comfortable with this method. Date time API J111 day number 1213. Yes or no? And definitely here the data type I need to change. I have to write down local date. Then we are writing admission date. equal to local date dot parse sc dot next int. So into the input taking part, if anybody is having any doubt, then please do let me know. Everyone, input taking part comfortable for all? So this is done. After actually input taking part is done, shall I create a statement? Next number point, definitely I should create a statement. And first of all, everybody, let me talk about the SQL query. Let me talk about the SQL query. So I'm writing a string insert query equal to, then definitely we have to write down insert into. What is the name of the table? Definitely the name of the table is going to be student. Then we are writing here values. And this time, because I am not providing value for every column, this time, because I am not providing value for every column, so this time it is compulsory for me to write down the column list. And while writing the column list, first column is going to be roll number, second column is going to be name, third column is going to be percentage, and the fourth column is going to be admission underscore date. For the values, remember the trick: 2 times single quotation, 2 times double quotation, 2 times plus symbol, and variable name in between. So 2 times single quotation, 2 times double quotation, 2 times plus symbol, then definitely variable name is required to be here. Again, comma, 2 times single quotation, 2 times double quotation, 2 times plus symbol, and definitely we have to write down here name. It will be good to break it into the two parts. Then here again, comma. If I'm talking about the double value, for the double value, the quotation is not required. Because quotation is not required, so definitely single quotation is not there. Directly we are writing name of the variable percentage. 2 times single quotation, 2 times double quotation, 2 times plus symbol. And finally, we have to write down admission underscore date. So how query is prepared here, is that clear? Yes, it is. Okay, that's good. So let me actually write down one simple thing in front of you. I am on Notepad. I am on Notepad. So let's say that this is the complete query that actually we are having. I'm talking about some different sets. For the different sets, for example, let's say that the value of roll number, let's say I'm writing R001. Value for name, let's say I'm writing ABC. Value for percentage, let's say I'm writing 55.26. Then I'm writing the value of admission date, the value of admission date. For example, let's say I'm writing this one. This is my first data. So definitely you will say that's whatever that is available into the double quotation mark. Shall we take it as it is? Yes. Whatever available into the double quotation mark, shall we take it as it is? The answer is yes. We should take it as it is. Okay. Thereafter, we are talking about percentage 55.26. Then again, whatever into the quotation mark, take it as it is. Okay, this part is taken as it is. Then definitely the date of admission is 1st January 2022. Then whatever into the double quotation mark, again take it as it is. So this is how exactly the query is going to be formed for the first data. Similarly, the query for the next scholar R002, name for example, it is BCD, percentage is 6.62. Then I'm talking about the admission date. So admission date, for example, I am writing 5th May 2022. You will say, sir, everything is same. Instead of R001, it is going to be R002. Instead of ABC, it will be BCD. It's going to be 65.25. And definitely the date is going to be 5th of May 2022. So there is no problem. Query is working 100% okay, but don't you think that actually only the input values are subjected to change? Remaining structure of the query is fixed. Reasonable? Definitely. Remaining structure of the query is fixed, but only input value is something that is subjected to change. When I am using statement interface, focus on this very carefully. Focus on this very carefully. The thing that is to be noticed here is the thing that is to be noticed here is if you are using the statement interface, if you are using the statement interface, then what is the drawback? Listen to me very, very carefully. What is the drawback? Listen to me very, very carefully. In case of a statement interface, the entire query will be sent to the database management system. So I'm writing that the complete query will be sent to the database management system, and definitely the DBMS will compile the query, then it will definitely execute the query, and then it will actually delete the query, and then it will actually, you can say that, remove the query. So overall the point is that don't you think that this processing is going to be repeated again for the next query? Yes or no? Simple logic. When you are firing the first query for the first input set, query is sent to the database management system. Database management system compile this query. Then database management system execute this query. After executing the query, database management system says, okay, bye bye. Don't know whether I will see you or not. Then for the next record, again, the entire query is available to database. Again, the compilation is there. Again, query execution is there. And again, query will be removed. So for example, let's say that if I wanted to insert 10 records using the loop, then don't you think that the same query is getting compiled for the 10 times? Yes, it is. And definitely it is something that is not a good approach. If we can keep the query pre-compiled in the database and later on only values are subjected to change, then definitely it will be an efficient processor. Yes or no? So thing is that this time, right now, when I'm using a statement interface, the complete query will be sent to the database management system. The database management system will compile the query, execute the query, then it will remove the query. If I want to insert 10 records, definitely then the same process is going to be repeated again and again for 10 times, which is a performance penalty because rework is there. And definitely, if I'm talking about the smart solution, then definitely smart solution is something that is different. A smart solution says that keep the fixed part of the keep the fixed part of the query pre-compiled, and then fit the changeable data only. So by this, the query will be compiled only for one time, and because the query will be compiled only for one time, so definitely time saving will be there and results will be faster. But now the thing arises how to do this. So for this you have to use prepared statement. Now getting my point? Why prepared statement is better than the statement interface, particularly when there is dynamic query. Clear or not? Everyone, I'm giving you time. Line number 44 and 46. Please go through this line again and again. Meanwhile, I'm drinking some water. And if everything is okay, then write one on the chat after reading. Theoretical description is clear. Shall I go for example? Okay, that's good. So now I'm going to say that this way of writing the query is not very good. Don't go with this. Don't go with this. This is the old way. So how to write down the query? I will say that just write down insert into all the statements, and after writing insert into all the statements, then actually see insert into students, roll number, name, percentage, admission date, values. How many values do I need to provide? I will provide 4 values. So for the 4 values right now, I am writing a placeholder symbol. The name of the placeholder symbol is called question mark. Is that okay? This is a placeholder symbol that actually shows that here value will be provided, and definitely the value will be provided in future. Is that clear, everyone? How to write down a prepared statement related query? You need to write down everything, but wherever user input is expected, in place of the user input, you need to write down question mark. This is the fixed symbol. Do not use any other symbol. Do not use any other symbol. So definitely query is created. Definitely query is created. So once the query is created, then we have to create, or you can say that get object of prepared statement for this connection. For this connection. So now what we are writing, get object of the prepared statement. See, last time, if you wanted to get the object of a statement, then using the connection, you were calling create statement method. This time, using the connection object, you have to call other method. The name of the statement is called prepare statement method. And you can see that into the prepare statement method, or for the prepare statement method, multiple versions are available, and every version required SQL. Every version required SQL, and definitely the SQL is the query that you wanted to get pre-compiled. So if you wanted to get object of a statement, then you need to call create statement. When you are calling create statement method, then no parameter is required, but it is suitable for a static query, and definitely every query is getting recompiled multiple times. On the other hand, if you wanted to get the object of prepared statement, then you need to call prepare statement method. In the prepare statement method, you need to specify the query. And this is something that is suitable for dynamic query, because fixed part of the query is already pre-compiled. Only values are required to be placed. Getting my point? Everyone comfortable? So what exactly it is going to provide me? As you can see into the signature, that it is going to provide you an object of prepared statement. It is going to provide you an object of prepared statement. So prepared statement is copied from here, PS is here, connection.prepare statement is here. Things are going on thereafter. Thereafter. Okay, sir, prepared statement is there. So user input is taken, query is created, prepared statement is also taken. Now what is the next step? The next step is we wanted to execute query. Yes. Is there any specific method to execute query? I will say no. You have to use same execute update and same execute query method. Why you have to use the same method? Because the good thing is that if you talk about the prepared statement, then prepared statement is actually sub interface of statement interface. Prepared statement interface is sub interface of statement interface. So definitely all the methods of statements are already available. So here actually, as you can see, using the PS, I am writing the method. The name of the method is called execute update method. The first version I am going to call, and into this first version, it is again going to give me an integer value, and definitely it is number of records affected. So directly I can use the syntax that if number of records affected are more than 0, if number of records affected are more than 0, then we will say that student added successfully. We will write down student added successfully. Otherwise, we can write down that no student added. This is what your step number 4. This is what your step number 4. And definitely step number 5 is all about closing the connection. So this time, just actually, I'm going to open the previous code also for the comparison. The previous code that I did on the day of Monday. Just actually match one by one. Here actually, can you see that I am getting the object of a statement, and definitely to get the object of a statement, I have to call the create statement method. But in the create statement method, there is no parameter. Now let us compare for the prepared statement. In case of prepared statement, you have to call the prepare statement method, but because the prepare statement method is taking the query as a parameter itself, so first thing that you need to do is you need to create the query. After creating the query, you need to call the prepared statement method, and in the prepared statement method, you need to pass this query as a parameter. Getting my point? This is the first difference. Okay. Second thing, if I'm talking about statement interface, using the statement interface when you are calling the execute update method, then you are providing query as a parameter. In case of statement interface, when you are writing the execute update method, then you are passing query as a parameter because statement interface is not bound to a specific query. But on the other hand, if I'm talking about the prepared statement, then you can see that prepared statement is already bound to a specific query. What query is to be executed, this is already known. So that's why at the time of calling the execute update method, no need to specify the query. Getting my point? Everyone clear this comparison? Finally, everything is same. So what is the advantage? Definitely the advantage is there only in the terms of performance. Getting my point? Shall I execute this query? What happened, batch? So much silence. Shall I execute this program? No. First, I have to provide the value for the parameters. First, I have to provide the value for the parameters. So this is going to be my step number 4, that I have to provide value to the parameter. So provide value for the question marks. See how to provide the value for the question mark. I am talking about prepared statement. I am talking about prepared statement. Let me go to the Google Chrome. And I'm talking about prepared statement interface. So while talking about the prepared statement interface, first thing, can you see that this interface is child interface of a statement? Point number 1. Second, a SQL statement is pre-compiled and stored in prepared statement object. This object can be used to efficiently execute the statement multiple times. Same line that I explained you. Yes or no? Yes, it is. And if I'm talking about the value that you wanted to set, so directly refer to this example. It says that update employee set salary equal to question mark where ID equal to question mark. So can you see, using prepared statement, it is calling some set method that is used to set the value for the parameter, such that for the salary it is setting the value 153833. For the ID it is setting the value 110529. So by looking at this thing, can I say that in MySQL, index of the parameter is not starting from 0, but index of the parameter is starting from 1. Getting my point? The same thing is applicable into the substr method also. First parameter is at the index number 1. Second parameter is at the index number 2. And definitely for all the data types, you will find that methods are available that are going to help you. Like method is available set byte method. Method is available set date method. Method is available set double method, set float method, set int method, set long method. So isn't it something very much like the scanner? In the scanner, we are having next triple X format. Similarly, in case of prepared statement, we have set triple X format where instead of triple X, we have to write down the suitable data type. Is that clear? This analogy will help you to remember the things. So let me come here. If I'm talking about the first value roll number, so the first value roll number is for integer type or for the string type? The first value roll number is for the integer type, or it is for the string, or it is for the string type. Keep in mind it is for the string type. Why it is for the string type? Because into the roll number, if I'm talking about the data type of the column, it is varchar 4, and if it is varchar 4, then definitely the value belongs to the string type. Getting my point? So overall, everybody, in the STS, the method that I need to call is going to be set string method. So I'm writing ps dot. The name of the method that I need to call is the set string. The first parameter I need to pass is 1. And definitely I need to provide the value from the column that is called, from the value that is called roll number. Thereafter, we are writing here ps dot set string index number 2. I'm talking about the next variable. Then definitely the next variable is name. Then going for the third case, definitely this time I have to call the set double method. For the index number 3, I have to provide the value from the variable percentage. But now finally you will find that there is minor issue in the fourth case. And why there is minor issue into the fourth case? So please check the error message. By looking at the error message, can you see first parameter is required to be of int type? That's perfect. But the second parameter is required to be of date type, but we are providing a parameter of local date type. Getting what is the source of error is? Everyone, root cause analysis is clear. Why this method is creating problem? Yes, it is. So actually we need to convert the local date into the date. Yes or no? Yes, it is. Now, regarding the date class, let me give you some disclaimers. The disclaimers that I wanted to give you is one class is available. The name of class is called java.util.date class. If I'm talking about the java.util.date class, this is something that you can call kind of deprecated. There is one more class available, date class, but the date class belongs to java.sql.date, and this is something that is right now into the fashion, or this is something that is still used. So if I'm talking about the date class into the set date method, then definitely the class is java.sql.date, not java.util.date. Getting my point? Okay. So first of all, everybody, what I need to do? Definitely there is a method available. The date class that is part of java.sql package. It is providing a method. The name of the method is called value of method. And you can see that the value of method is taking the object of local date as a parameter. So if I wanted to get an object of java.sql.date class from the local date, then can I call this method? Yes or no? Simple logic. Yes, it is. So I am writing date dot value of, and then I need to pass admission date as a parameter. Now compile time error is not there. Now compile time error is not there. So let me quickly summarizing what I done so far. Overall, actually, what is my target? I wanted to insert a record into the student table. So first of all, I am loading the driver. Then definitely I am establishing the connection. After establishing the connection, I am taking the student data input. Into the student data, we have roll number, name, percentage, and admission date is available there. Thereafter, we have insert query. Into the insert query, we are writing insert into student, roll number, name, percentage, admission date. And for the values, we need to write down 4 times question mark. Then a prepared statement is there. And definitely prepared statement is already tied to a query. So definitely the query you need to pass as a parameter. Then next step is you need to provide value for these parameters. And whenever you wanted to provide value for these parameters, then definitely set methods are provided there. The first parameter you need to specify is the index. The next parameter you need to specify is the value or the variable name. All the values are available here. Then finally, we are calling the execute update method. Is that clear, everyone? How to proceed? Shall I execute this query? Yes, it is. And for the sake of debugging, sometime let's say that you are getting the error message, and if you wanted to see that what is exactly query formed. So if you wanted to check the exact query that is found here, then just actually print the object of prepared statement. Its toString method is used to print the SQL query that is to be executed by the prepared statement. Getting my point? So I'm running this code, Alt Shift X J. First thing it is asking is enter roll number. I'm writing R001. It is asking for name. I'm writing ABC. Enter percentage. I'm writing 55.65. Admission date I'm writing is 2022-01-01, and then I'm hitting enter. Whatever be the error, we will take a look into the error. But first of all, if I'm talking about the query, then can you see insert into student, roll number, name, percentage, admission date. The first thing, the value for the roll number is R001. For the name, it is ABC. For percentage, it is 55.65. For admission date, it is 1st January 2022. So everything is there. Everything is there. About the format, I think you are already aware that this is the default date format for MySQL, and you have to stick to this format. At the time of display, you can change, but at the time of insertion, you cannot. So it says that table actually doesn't exist. So what is the name of the table? The name of the table is student. Okay. What is the name of the database? SB101 block 25 EX2. Let me check here. Yes, mistake. Database name is incorrect. Database name is incorrect. So let me try to run it again. Right click, run as Java application. And when I'm running it Java application, then it says that database name is incorrect. Okay. Okay. Right click, coming here, paste. Database name was incorrect. That's why actually I'm getting problem. Right click, again talking about run as Java application. It is asking for roll number R001, enter name ABC, enter percentage 55.65, admission date 2021-01-21. So complete query is available here, and definitely I am getting the success message. The success message is that a student added successfully. First example is clear to everyone. How to use the prepared statements. Yes, it is. So let me come here, and after coming here, so I am writing here that is select star from. What is the name of table? The name of the table is student, semicolon, hitting enter. Is it working fine? Yes or no? Fine it is. Perfect. That's great. That's great. Going to next part. Going to next part. So first of all, everybody, from this example, difference between a statement and prepared statement we have discussed in the detail. And whenever there is a dynamic query, what you would love to choose, option number 1 statement interface, or option number 2 prepared statement. Write your decision, please. Only 7 or 8 responses. Okay. Okay. Let me go to next case. Let me go to next case. So this is the first part that I have done. This is all about the insert statement. After insert statement, shall I write down code for the update also? I think there will be no problem. Yes or no? Similarly, I can write down the code for the delete also. So shall I create a complete application for you in CRUD operation as well as searching operation? And it will be kind of mini project for you. Okay. So first thing, insert operation is done. Now I need to write down the code for the delete operation. So everyone, I think it will be good to create a separate function to add a student, separate function to update a student, separate function to delete a student, and separate function to view list of students. I think it will be a better choice. Otherwise, your main method is going to be completely hodgepodge. Yes, it is. So let me create one method. That's good. That's good. So I'm creating one method. Name of the method I'm writing is, let's say, static void, and name of the method I'm writing is insert student. I'm writing is insert student, and all that code taking from here, pasting into the insert student. The only problem is that scanner object is not available. And actually the thing is that scanner object I need into the public static void main also, and the scanner object I need into the public static void main also, as well as in the insert student also. So can I pass it like this? Yes or no? Better choice. Instead of creating different object, you can call it somewhat like this. Okay. So let me make this application more interactive. To make this application more interactive, I am creating one variable integer choice. Initial value of variable choice is 0. Then I am writing do loop. Into the do loop, I am writing system.out.print. Let me give some choices to the user. The choice number 1. Choice number 1 is to add student. Then I am talking about the choice number 2. Definitely, the choice number 2 is to view the student list. Let me talk about the choice number 3. In the choice number 3, it is for update student detail. And definitely the updation will be done on the behalf of roll number. Roll number is something you can assume that is not going to change forever. Fourth number, then again we are writing delete student detail. Then I am writing the choice number 5 also into the choice number 5. For example, let's say that I am saying that you need to search student by roll number. Let's say search student by roll number. So first 5 options are provided to the user. After providing five options to the user, then we are asking user to provide the selection, or providing user to provide the input. Then we are writing choice equal to sc dot next int. After writing choice equal to sc dot next int, then again after do there is while available. And actually if user wanted to exit the application, then he should press 0, because for example insert done, update done, everything is done. Now I wanted to exit application, so there must be some choice. So the choice is 0. So can I say that I need to repeat this loop till the value of choice is not equal to 0? Make sense? Yes, it is. And then actually everyone, I need to provide the value, I need to use the switch case. Into the switch there is choice available. Into the choice I am talking about the case 1. If I'm talking about the case 1, then in case of case 1, I need to call the method. The name of the method is going to be insert student, and then I should perform a break. For the case number 2, I do not have something right now. Directly I am writing break, then I will write down the remaining portion. Then we are talking about the case number 3. Then we are writing about the case number 4. Then we will write down about the case number 5. Then I have to write down for the case number 0. In case of the case number 0, we can directly print the message that is thank you, comma. Then again we are writing visit again. And if there is no match available, then we have to print the message that invalid selection. Please try again. Oh, this menu, how it is going to work? I hope it is clear for everyone. Yes or no? Yes, it is. So once actually, just for the sake of checking everything is okay or not, I try to insert a record. Doing the right click, run as Java application. It is asking me 1 for add selection, 2 for view a student list, 3 for update, 4 for delete, 5 for search, 6 is for exit, enter selection. I am writing the value 1. Okay, good. Method is called. It says enter roll number. The value for roll number I am writing R002. Name, for example, I am writing it is BCD. Percentage, for example, I am writing is 65.25. Admission date, for example, I am writing this one, and then I am hitting enter. After hitting enter, for the sake of debugging, the query was printed. I am going to comment this line, but I am getting the message student added successfully. That's good. Code is working perfectly okay. Now nothing I wanted to do. I'm pressing 0, hitting enter. It says thank you, visit again, and the application is closed. So navigation is working properly? Yes or no? Perfect it is. Hmm. So now I wanted to write down the method. The method that I wanted to write down is for update student. The method that I wanted to write is for the update student, and see, I am slightly lazy. I'm doing the copy paste. After doing the copy paste, then I'm writing here update student. Can I say that code to connect to database will be 100% same? Yes, it is. Thereafter, I need to take input roll number, name, percentage, and admission date. Okay, four details are available for us. Once the four details are available for us, and because this is update operation, what we are assuming, roll number is not going to change forever, but name, percentage, and admission date is something that we can change. So we are writing query update student set. The very first value that I wanted to set is for the name. The next value that I wanted to set is for the percentage. The next value that I wanted to set is for the admission date. And then finally, we need to write down where value for roll number equal to going to be question mark. Everyone comfortable with the query? Yes, it is. That's good. Then definitely prepared statement is there, and let me change the name of this variable. Name of this variable we are writing is update query. So we are writing connection dot prepared statement. Again, the thing that we are writing is update query. Then definitely we have to provide the value for the question mark. So this time, can I say that first parameter is not for the roll number, but the first parameter is for the name? Yes or no? The second parameter is for the percentage. The third parameter is for the date of admission. And definitely, finally, the fourth parameter is available for the roll number. Make sense, everybody? Yes, it is. So, commenting the prepared statement printing. And here actually, I have to write down the method that student updated successfully. Otherwise, I have to write down no student updated. No student updated. So in the update student, the very first thing that I have done is I have created a connection to the database. After creating a connection to the database, then there is driver manager.get connection. Then we are taking input. Update query is there, prepared statement is there, filling the data is there, and finally query execution is there. So don't you think that if the insert statement code is written, then update statement code is kind of already written? Yes or no? Yes, it is. That's good. So let me call this update student method, and this update student method I'm going to call in case of case number 3. And definitely scanner object is again what I need to pass. Scanner object is again what I need to pass. So let me try to run this code, doing the right click, run as Java application. And first of all, it is asking for the choice. Choice I'm writing, let's say it is 3. Hitting enter. It is asking for roll number. Let's say that roll number I am writing is R001. It is asking for name. I am changing the name to CDE. Percentage I am changing to 75.25. Admission date I am writing 2021-05-09. So far, I have not hit enter. So if I'm talking about current data regarding the R001, then definitely current data regarding the R001 is name is ABC, percentage is 55.65, admission date is 1st of January 2021. Now let me hit enter here. When I hit enter here, can you see the message that student updated successfully? Yes, message is there. Let us verify if the updation is done or not. Please compare. Is it done? Yes, it is. That's great. That's great. So into the insert operation and into the update operation, if you people have any doubt, feel free to ask. And if everything is okay, then write one on the chat. That's great. That's great. That's great. That's great. That's great. So update student method is also done. And after the update student update student, then we are going for the next method, and definitely the next method is all about deleting the student. And if I wanted to delete a student, then can I delete the student detail only on the behalf of roll number? Yes, it is. Make sense? Perfect. So for example, everybody, I'm going to write down the next method, and definitely the name of next method that I am going to write down is not update student, but this is to delete student. Creating the connection, creating the correction. So you can see class.foundname com.mysql.feature.jdbc.driver, URL is there, user is there, password is there, connection is created. This time I do not need everything. I need only roll number. I need only roll number, and the query that I need to write down is going to be delete from student. Delete from student. Then we have to write down where roll number equal to question mark. Con.prepared statement is there, and definitely this time I have to provide value only for the one parameter, the first parameter, that is called roll number. And definitely then ps.execute update will be there. If everything is okay, more than 10 record is affected, then we will say student deleted successfully. Otherwise we will write down no student deleted. Code is completed hardly within 30 seconds. Code is completed hardly within the 30 seconds. Let me write down the code here. Choice number 4. Choice number 4 is for the delete student, and then we are writing SC here. And then we are writing SC here. So let me try to run this code also. How many records is available? How many records are available to? And see everybody right now. Let's say if roll number is not available, then definitely no record will be affected. And because no record will be affected, so we will get the message no student deleted. Make sense? Right click, run as Java application. So I wanted to delete some student data. So I'm writing the choice. My choice is choice number 4. After choice number 4, it is asking for the roll number. For the roll number, I'm writing the value R002 and hitting enter. It shows student deleted successfully. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Again, let's say that it is asking for the selection. I am writing the value 4. It is saying that enter the roll number. For example, let's say roll number I am writing R006, and there is no scholar available with the roll number R006. So I am getting the message no student deleted. Code is working 100% fine. Yes or no? Clear everyone? That's good. So 3 operations we have done. Insert operation is done. Update operation is done, and delete operation is done. Now select operation is pending. And apart from this, minor updation in this code is also pending. So I will do this job, but definitely this job will be done after the break. So it's time for your quick break. See you at 12 past 41. Okay, everyone. So everyone, welcome back after the break. Now see, in this code, actually one problem is there. If I'm talking about code, if I'm talking about this code, then definitely the code to create the connection. I have copied this code into the insert student. The same code is available into the update student, and the same code is available into the delete student also. Next time when I'm going to write down the select statement, then definitely the code will be repeated again. So definitely it's a good decision to create a separate method to connect to database. Make sense? Simple thing it is. So let me create a separate method for the same. So first 2 lines, let's say that cutting, and after cutting this line, then I'm creating one more method. Name of the method I'm writing is static connection. Name of the method that I'm writing is, let's say that make connection, and this method is going to throw an exception. The name of the exception is called SQL exception, and one more type of exception it will throw. The name of the exception is called class not found exception. And here, please check the code. please check the code. For the make connection, initially we are loading the driver. After loading the driver, then we are having URL, username and password. And from the driver manager.get connection, directly the method will be available for us. And definitely connection will be created here. Make sense, everybody? How to write down a method? Visible? That's good. And I wanted to suggest one more improvement. The improvement is that if I'm talking about this code, then definitely, because this code is practically going to be executed only for one time, or we can say that a class is actually getting loaded into the system only for one time. Because the class is getting loaded into the system only for one time, so can I write down this code into the static block? Yes or no? And let's say that if this class is not available, then better to close the application immediately, because if there is no driver, then what should I do of a CRUD application? Is it better? Yes, it is. And apart from that, if I'm talking about these three variables, then definitely better to create all these three variables in the form of a final constant also. Please check. Please check. If I'm creating these variable static final, so first of all, they are constant. Second, they are available at a single location. They are not local variable. Is that structure better? What happened, everyone? Is that structure better? Yes, it is. Same thing. It will be good to be done for the close connection also. So for example, I am writing here static void. Name of the method that I'm writing is close connection. Into the close connection, then I'm writing here, let's say that connection con, and definitely this is going to throw an exception. The name of the exception is going to be SQL exception. And here I'm writing just a very simple thing, that connection dot close is what I'm writing. Just one actually last check that I can perform. If the value of connection is not equal to null, then definitely we should call this method. So once again, let me repeat what exactly I did. First of all, everybody, as you can see that in case of insert statement, I have written code to make the connection. Then I have written code to close the connection. Similarly, in the update statement, I have written code to create the connection. Then I have written code to close the connection. In the delete statement, I also did the same thing. Then there is code to close the connection is also available there. So overall pointer is available for you. So better to create a separate method to for the connection making. Yes or no? Yes, it is. Okay. If I'm talking about this class.forName com.mysql.cj.jdbc.driver manager, what is the use of this line? This line is used to load the driver class within the JVM. And definitely into the entire life cycle of a program, a class is going to get loaded only for one time. This is something that we already know. So instead of writing this statement class.forName for the multiple time in every method, isn't it better to write down the same statement within the static block? Because as my program execution started, before calling of the public static void main method, automatically static block will be called. And as the static method is called, automatically the class will be loaded. If everything is okay, then there is no problem. If your class is not available, then better to exit your application immediately. Yes or no? Yes, it is. So this operation is going to be now executed only for a single time. This operation is now going to get executed only for a single time. This is point number one. Now let me talk about the point number two. If I'm talking about the URL, username and password, then definitely they are created as local variable everywhere, which is not a good thing. Why not a good thing? Because in future, if you are changing your database name, so you need to make changes everywhere, which is very bad practice. Which is very bad practice. So what is the solution? The better solution is available for us, and the better solution is that we should create them as static and final variable. First of all, if they are static final, so there is only one copy available. Because they are final variables, so nobody can change them. So definitely this is a better decision. Yes or no? You are having a single point of control. Yes, it is. Then I created one method. The name of the method is called make connection method. Into the make connection method, just one line, driver manager dot get connection, URL, username, password, and return the same thing. Is that okay? Yes, it is. So I am actually heading toward a modular approach where we can find out the things very properly. Okay, this part done. Similarly, I have written the code to close the connection also. So what I need to do, first of all, there is no class not found exception. Definitely not. Second, if I wanted to establish the connection, then instead of writing these 4 lines, directly I can call the make connection method. Directly I can call the make connection method. Similarly, once all the job is done, then better to call the close connection method with the connection object. And definitely into the catch block, again I have to handle this time only one type of exception, and this one type of exception is referred as SQL exception. Getting my point, everyone? How exactly the code is divided into much more modular part? Yes or no? This line is to make the connection. Then whatever you wanted to do it. Thereafter, definitely last time you have to close the connection, and this time you need to handle only one exception. The only exception that you wanted to handle is going to be SQL exception. Now one more thing, see everyone. Many of the time scholars are saying, sir, okay, connection is open. Yes, connection is open. Prepared statement is also a resource. It is also open. Yes, it is open. Then after resource, there is other set available. But at the time of closing connection, we are closing connection only. According to the concept, we should close the prepared statement first. And after closing the prepared statement, then we should close the connection. Make sense? First, we should close the prepared statement. Then we should close the connection object. But listen to me very, very carefully. If you are closing the connection object directly, then no problem. All the associated resources, whether it is your prepared statement, whether it is your result set, they will be closed automatically again. So if you are closing the connection, that is sufficient already. Clear? Hmm. Anything else that you wanted to ask? Shall I proceed for the next target? That is for the select query. Hey everybody. In case of system.exit, first of all, I think you all know it very well that system.exit method is used to halt the JVM, or it is used to shut down the JVM. I think this is already known to you. Yes, it is. So in this case, if you are writing system.exit and if you are writing parameter 0, so when you are writing parameter 0, it is treated as normal exit by operating system. If you are writing value 0, then value 0 is treated as normal exit by operating system. But into the system.exit, if you are writing anything other than 0, if you are writing anything other than 0, then this is actually treated as abnormal exit by operating system. So the thing is that, let's say that if this file is not available, or if your driver file is not connected, so can you say this is a normal exit? Do you think? No. So definitely we wanted to give message to the operating system that this is not normal exit, this is some abnormal exit. So you have to specify any value other than 0. Clear? That's nice. Anything else that you wanted to ask? Your queries are welcomed. This time class loading part is done in the static block, so there is no need to handle class cast exception anywhere else. Okay, seems no doubt. Seems no doubt. Let me update the code at other places also. So make connection code, I have to write here also. And definitely then I need to call the class not found exception is not required to be handled. And here we have to call the method that is called close connection method. Perfect. Same thing is applicable here also. We need to make connection. After the making connection, class not found exception is not required to be handled. Then here actually we need to call close connection here. So now the code is working perfectly okay. Now the code is working perfectly okay. No duplication is there. All set. No duplication is there. All set. Now I'm taking the next example. Now I'm taking the next example. So shall I write down code for this one, that is view student list? Yes, it is. So let me write down method. 1 second. Let me write down method. The name of the method that I'm writing is static void view student list bracket open bracket close. The very first thing that I need to do is definitely everywhere I have to make connection. Okay, connection making is successful, and definitely if connection is making, then definitely closing is also there. Closing is also there. Then system.out.println ex, this is also there. In case of view student list, particularly when I wanted to view all the students. When I wanted to view all the students, then don't you think that practically I do not have anything to take input? Yes, definitely I do not have anything to take input. So for example, let's say I am writing a string query. So for the string query, simple, I need to write down, this is going to be select star from. What is the name of the table? Name of the table is student. If you are saying that, sir, I do not wanted to fetch this ID column because this will confuse user, so no problem, you can fetch roll number, name, percentage, and admission date. No problem in this. It is depending on your own thought. So I am writing roll number, name, percentage, and then I am writing the name of the column. This is going to be admission date. Select roll number, name, percentage, admission date from student is what exactly I need to write down. So this time, can I say this is a static query? This time, can I say this is a static query? Yes, it is. So I can use the statement. I can use prepared statement. There is no difference. There is almost no difference. I can use any. So integrating example, this time using statement interface. So, okay, step number one. The step number one is all about the query formation. Then I'm talking about the step number two. Again, the step number two is this time, let's say that we are talking about take object of statement. Let's say we are talking about take object of statement. So while taking the object of statement, definitely using the connection, we have to call create statement. So we are writing here statement equal to connection dot create statement. See, whenever it comes to import, what you are supposed to import, com.mysql or java.sql. Option 1 com.mysql, option 2 java.sql. Please update your answer. Always use java.sql, never use mysql, otherwise there will be problem in database portability in future. Yes, it's a crime. So statement interface is there. Now this time see. One method we come across is execute update method, and definitely the return type of execute update method is integer value. So when you are writing a select query, is it reasonable to say that return value is not going to be an integer value? Again, repeating my statement, this time select statement is there, but if I'm talking about the execute update method, then the execute update method is used to return the null value, used to return the integer value. So can I say that output of select statement cannot be a integer value only? Yes or no? This time you are not supposed to use execute update method. This time you are going to use another method, and name of the another method is called execute query method. So whenever there is select statement available, then you have to go for the execute query method. But whenever there is DML statement available, then you have to go with the execute update method. Getting my point? So first confusion clear, why there is execute update and why there is execute query? Yes, it is. That's good. So statement is created here. Then I am talking about the step number 3. The step number 3 is that you need to call the execute query method because it is DRL statement. Because it is DRL statement. So we are writing here statement dot. The method that we have to call is execute query. Within the execute query, I have to pass the query. Okay, query is passed. Now the question arises that, sir, what is the return type? So if I'm talking about the return type, can you see there is somebody new available, and this name of somebody new is called result set. Name of this somebody new is called result set. So let us discuss about result set first. Let us discuss about result set first. So I'm available on result set page. Read the first line very carefully, please. I'm turning on fan. Please read this line. The result set. A result set is a table of data representing a database result set, which is usually generated by executing a statement that query the database. So if I interpret this line in the simple language, can I say that result set is used to contain the data that is written by select statement? Can I say this thing? Whatever result written by select statement, they are available within the object of result set. Now take a look at this point. Take a look at this point. Initially, the cursor is positioned before the first row. The next method actually move the cursor to next row, and because it return false when there is no more rows into the result set database, it can be used in the while loop to iterate through the result set. Please go through this line also. Please go through this line also. So shall I take example directly, everyone? Okay, that's good. So result set is available there. See, when you are writing this query, so how many records are available? Right now, we can say that only one record is available. If I wanted to add one more record, then definitely I can add some more records also that I will add accordingly. Or let's say that I'm writing here directly, insert into. I'm adding few records because they are required for the explanation. So for example, I am writing insert into what is the name of table? Name of the table is student. Then I wanted to mention the list. The first list is going to be roll number. Second list is going to be name. The third list is going to be percentage, and the fourth list is going to be admission underscore date. Thereafter, we have to write down values. After writing values, for example, roll number, let's say that I'm writing is R003. For example, name, let's say that I'm writing is DEF. Then I'm writing the percentage, it is going to be 56.25. And definitely admission date that I'm writing is 2022, this and that. Hitting enter. How many records available? 2. So right now, can I say that when we are going to fire this query, that is select roll number, comma name, comma percentage, comma admission date from student, how many records will be available? 2 records will be available for us. Let me come to the notepad once. When you are talking about the result, so you can see that, sir, for this query, how many records are available? total 2 records are available. So can I say that the result set, can I say that the result set contains the result set actually contains the 2 records? Can I say this thing? The first record is R001, CDE 75.25 and so on. And the second record is actually R003. Now listen to me very, very carefully. Now listen to me very, very carefully. I'm going through these lines. I'm going through these lines. Initially, the cursor is positioned before first row. The next method, move the cursor to next row, and because it returns false when there is no more rows into the result set object, it can be used in a while loop to iterate through the result set. So. Listen, right now, everybody, take care for the logic very, very carefully. Using the RS, I'm calling next method. Using this RS, I'm calling the next method, or let me copy some code also. It will help us. Let me write down all the 3 lines of code also. It is just for explanation that I'm doing. Okay, all the 3 lines are available here. First line is all about the query formation. Second line is all about creating the statement. And third is all about executing update. So this time, after execution of this query, if I'm talking about the result set, that is RS. If I'm talking about the result set, that is RS, it is actually containing the 2 records. But actually, the line says that initially the cursor is positioned before the first row. Initially, the cursor is positioned before the first row. And what code I'm writing? If rs dot next, let's say if this part is returning us value false. If this part is returning us value false, then in this condition, can I say that no student found is a suitable message? Please read 1, 2 lines and thereafter go through this code and please tell me if this code is correct or not. Particularly line number 65 is important. It says that the next method move the cursor to next row, and because it returns false when there are no more rows into the result set object, so it can be used in while loop to iterate the result set. So simple logic. Initially, we are getting the result set, and after getting the result set, immediately if I'm writing this check that if rs.next is returning you false, then we can print the message student not found. Make sense, everybody? This is step clear? If anybody want repetition, please write repeat on chat. Please write repeat on chat if anybody want repetition. Okay, again listen. Again listen. Okay. No problem. Initially, just I'm moving step by step. Step number 1, query is created. That's good. Statement number 2, statement object is created. Third one, execute query method is called. When execute query method is called, then definitely nobody can guarantee that how many records are there. Number of records can be 0 or more. Right now, I'm talking about the 2 different cases. While writing the 2 different cases, so let's say I'm writing case number 0. I'm writing case number 1. The case number 1 is when no record is there in tables. When no record is available into the table, then definitely result set object will be there. Yes, sir. Result set object will be there. But this time, can I say that the result set object actually contains 0 records? Yes or no? Into the case number 1, can I say that the result set actually contains 0 records? Okay. Now read this line. The quoted line, or if I'm talking about the liners, the line actually says me the one thing. Initially, the cursor is positioned before the first row. The next method move the cursor to next row, and because it return false when there is no more rows available into the result set object. So the thing is that everybody, if your result set is containing 0 records, then in this condition, definitely the next method is going to return you false. Yes or no? And when next method is returning you false, then it is good to print the no record found message. Yes or no? Line number 62, line number 65. I hope explanation is clear for everyone. Yes or no? Very important it is. That's why I'm telling you. Shall I proceed for case number 2? Yes, it is. Now I'm talking about the case number 2. The case number 2 says that definitely this time the result set is actually containing 2 records. If the result set is containing 2 records, then can I say that, sir, this if condition is going to be false? Can I say this if condition is going to be false? Yes or no? So can I say that you are here means at least you are here means number of records are more than 0 or number of records are 1 or more. You are here means number of records are 1 or more. This is what we are saying. And can I say that result set is now pointing to first record because next method is already called for first time. Yes or no? The result set is actually pointing to first record because next method is already called. Listen again. Case number 2, when 2 records are available, the remark already said that the initial cursor is positioned before the first row. The next method actually move the cursor to the next row. And because it returned false, or you can say that it actually return false when there are no more rows into the result object. So see here into the case number 2. Initially the next method is called. When the next method is called, then can I say that my result set is now pointing to the first row? Yes or no? By looking at this line, it is reasonable to say that, sir, if the next method is called, if next method is not returning false, then definitely number of records are 1 or more. And right now, the result set is already pointing to the first record. Everybody comfortable with my statement? Yes, it is. And definitely, if this is the case, then see, I'm creating a do loop. After creating a do loop, I am writing code to print the content, code to print the records. How to print that we will discuss later. And I need to keep continue this loop while the rsnox method is returning true. Please check. Make sense, everybody? Please check the code. Shall I summarize it once again? If any problem, shall I summarize this explanation once again if required? No problem. Okay, so let me take the example directly there in the STS. So you are writing result set is there, and after the result set, then I am writing code to print the record. Code to print the record. So first thing I am writing is if into the if I am writing if rs dot next, if this code is returning false. So can I say you are here means the result set is empty. So definitely, we have to print the message that is no record found. You have to print the message no record found. If this is not the case, so definitely you are here means table has, result set has one or more, result set has one or more records. If the result set has one or more records and result set is one or more record and result set is now on the first record. Okay. Result set is now available on the first record. So how to get the information? This is one thing. How to get the information? This is one thing. If you wanted to get the information, then to get the information, you have to use the getter method. Like in case of prepared statement, we have used the setter method. In case of result set, we have to use the getter method. Can you see list of methods is available for you? The name of the method is called get bytes method. The name of the method is called get date method. The name of the method is called get double method. So can I say that the format is get triple X? Yes or no? So just actually go one by one. The first value, definitely the first value is going to be of type string. Yes or no? The first value is going to be of type string. Make sense, everybody? The first and the second value is going to be of the string type. The third value is going to be of the double type. And the fourth value is going to be of the date type. Make sense? Shall I write down code? Yes, it is. So see, when I am writing rs dot get string, into the rs dot get string, there are both options available. You can specify the column index or you can specify the column name. And you can see that the value of column index is again starting from 1. Value of column index is again starting from 1. So if I'm writing rs.getString 1, then in case of rs.getString 1, I'm going to get the roll number. I am going to get the roll number. This is the first point available. Similarly, everybody, if I'm passing the index number 2, then can I say that the index number 2 is actually available for name? Yes, it is. Similarly, if I'm talking about the index number 3, in case of index number 3, I have to call the double method. And for the double method, I need to write down the data type double percentage equal to rs.getDouble. And finally, I am going to talk about the next thing. The next thing that is called admission date. So what will be the data type of admission date? Will it be local date or will it be java.sql.date? Option number 1, local date. Option number 2, java.sql.date. Definitely it is sql.date. So if you wanted to convert the same thing to the local date, then there is a method available. The name of the method is toLocalDate method. The name of the method is toLocalDate method. So simple logic, if you wanted to convert the local date to date, then you have to write down date.value of method. But if you wanted to convert the date to local date method, then directly call the toLocalDate method. This is what you need to do. Now, I can print system.out.println. The first value that I wanted to print is going to be for the roll number. The second value that I wanted to print is going to be for the name. The third point that I wanted to go is going to be for the percentage. And fourth value that I wanted to print is going to be for the admission date. These are the 4 values available. So can I say that right now it is printing detail of the first record only? Right now, can I say that it is going to print the record of first result only? So first record will be printed, but I wanted to print more record. And even if I wanted to print more record, then definitely, I am putting the entire logic within the do while loop. I am putting the entire logic within the do while loop. So cut here, paste here. So can I say, see, again executing. Your query is getting executed. If this condition is false, then definitely you are in the else statement. You are into the else statements means result set has one or more record. In our case, the result set is containing 2 records. With the do statement, can I say that first record information is getting printed? Yes. Now is there second record available? Answer is true. If the answer is true, loop will be executed again. So this time, all information about second record will be fetched automatically. Yes or no? Second record is printed. Now, is there any third record? No. If there is no third record available, then definitely better to say good and bye-bye. The complete student list is printed. Make sense, everybody? How I have written this code? rs.next is used to move the pointer to the next row, but it is returning you a Boolean value. If next record is available, then answer will be true. If next record is not available, then answer will be false. Getting my point? So, do while is something that is easy to understand. Then the while loop. Rest is your choice. You can use any. Rest is your choice. You can use any. So this is what actually view student list method is. Again, I am summarizing. The very first thing, make the connection. Second thing, query formation is there. Because this is a static query, that's why I'm using statement interface. After using the statement interface, then definitely result set is available there. After the result set, then definitely no record found. Otherwise, we are printing all the records one by one. We are printing all the records one by one. If next record is available, then it will be, then this loop will iterate again. This loop will iterate again. Finally, we are closing the connection. Catch statement is there. Better to call the method. So I copy from here. And after copying from here, then for the case number 2, I'm calling it no need to pass any scanner object. So let us try to execute this code. Enter selection. We are talking about the choice number 2. So when I'm talking about the choice number 2, can you see that the record is getting printed? Yes or no? Oh, working perfect. So let me add one more student. Let's say that roll number I am writing is R004. Name I am writing some TYU. Percentage I am writing is 74.25. And then I am writing the admission date. Admission date I am writing, this is going to be something, that one, hitting enter. Student added successfully. Now enter selection. Again, I am writing the value, and the value that I'm writing is 2, and I am hitting enter. So can you see that it is fetching the real-time information? Yes, it is. And when it is fetching real-time information, everything is working fine. Finally, I am pressing 0. It says, thank you, visit again, bye-bye. It says, thank you, visit again, and bye-bye. So this is what actually your select operation is. Shall I take one more example in which I will perform searching also? So user input plus result set, everything will be there. Then a complete example will be available for you. Okay, everyone? Hmm. So last point is available. Into the last point, then I need to talk about the last operation, that is search student by roll number. Search student by roll number. Okay, everybody, one more thing. Actually, here in this example, I have used statement interface, but normally you should use prepared statement always, because normally statement interface is suitable when you are going to write down the DRL statement only. Using the statement or prepared statement, you can fire any type of SQL statement. You can fire DDL statement, DML statement, DRL statement, DCL statement, transaction statement. All type of statements you can fire, don't worry. Even if you wanted to create a table using STS, then please refer to day 7 pre-class recording. Example is already given there. So all set, all set. I was talking about the last operation, and the last operation is, that is to search a student by roll number. See, when I'm going to search a student by roll number, then how many students will be there? Only one. I'm searching a student by roll number. So definitely one roll number is only for one student. Why you are writing 3? Why you are writing 3? I don't know. Sometimes my batch is getting emotional and they are actually flowing in the same direction. That 3 records are here, then go for 3. Okay, everyone. So right now I'm talking about the last case. Into the last case. So for example, I'm writing here that is static integer. into the static integer. Oh, in the summer season, wearing a spectacle is also a challenge. A lot of sweating is there. Okay, so I'm writing static void search student by roll number. And definitely because I wanted to take input, so definitely to take input, I need to write down scanner SC. I need to write down scanner SC. So after writing scanner SC, then we have to definitely, first of all, definitely try block is there, catch block is there. I'm writing the code from starting just for the sake of the very first thing that we have to do is everyone, we have to make connection, and definitely to make the connection, we have to call the make connection method. Then again, we have to call the close connection method. And if I'm talking about the type of exception, then definitely the type of exception is going to be SQL exception. Into this SQL exception, we are writing system.out.println, and whatever data you wanted to print, you can, no problem. Thereafter, first of all, step number 1, code to take input the roll number. If you wanted to take input the code for the roll number, so I am writing here, first of all, string system.out.print. Here we are mentioning enter roll number, and while entering the roll number, then we have to write down sc dot next method, and here we are writing a string roll number. Okay, then definitely the next part is to create query. And if I wanted to create query, so a string, I'm writing here that is select query equal to, then we have to write down that select. Again, let's say that I wanted to fetch the detail roll number, name, percentage, and after the percentage, I wanted to get admission underscore date. Yes, admission underscore date. Select roll number, comma, name, comma, percentage, comma, admission underscore date from name of the table is going to be student. Name of the table is going to be student. So definitely you need to create the select query. After creating the select query, then going to the next portion, I have to write down the where clause also. So I'm writing here that is where roll number equal to question mark. Connection is made, then definitely roll number is taken input. And next part, definitely create a prepared statement. And to create a prepared statement, we have to write down connection dot prepared statement. And here we have to pass the select query. And after passing the select query, then here we have to get the object of prepared statement PS. Then definitely we need to call the execute update method. And if I want, oh sorry, execute query method, not execute update, execute query method. So using the PS, this time I am calling the execute query method. So can you see that execute query method is available without parameter for the prepared statement? Because you have already specified the query. That's why this time you have to use execute query method without any parameter. And what exactly it is going to provide you? Definitely it is going to provide you result set. Definitely the thing that you have to provide is result set. But one thing that everybody forgot, don't I need to set the data for this question mark? Nobody reported, I was waiting. So fill the data. To fill the data, I need to call ps dot there is method available. The name of the method is called setString method. The first parameter is going to be 1, and the second parameter that we need to call is roll number. Is that okay? Yeah, it is. Thereafter result set is available. Again, if I wanted to see, there are possibilities whether the roll number is whether the student is available or it is not available. So can I say that number of records will be either 0 or 1? Yes or no? Yes, it is, because number of records are going to be either 0 or 1. So again, can I write down the same logic that if rs dot next, if this part is returning you false, then can I say that no record is available? So you are here means no record is available. Means no record is available for this roll number. And definitely if it is not the case, then definitely we can say that no student with roll number plus roll number. If this is not the case, so can I say that you are here means student with roll number is found? Yes or no? And definitely total number of records are 0 or 1. So if total number of records are actually maximum 1, then no need to write down any do while loop. Directly we can print the data. Yes or no? So first data that I wanted to print is roll number. And definitely the next data that I wanted to print is name. Then definitely the next data that I wanted to print is going to be for the percentage. Then definitely the next data that I wanted to print is going to be for the admission date. So let us print the data one by one. So first thing, can I say that here I need to call rs dot get string method for the column number 1. This will provide the value for roll number. Then again we have to provide rs dot get string. The value that I need to write down is 2. Then here I need to write down the string that here I have to write down the value. The value is going to be rs dot get double. Then we are writing the value that is 3 for the admission date. Then we are writing here rs dot. The method that I need to call is the get date method. And here I have to specify the parameter number 4. If you wanted to convert the same thing into the local date, then you can. Otherwise, if you are printing only, then you can keep it as it is also, no problem. You can print it as it is also, no problem, because toString method of local date as well as toString method of java.sql.date both are providing date in the default format, that is YMD. That is YMD. Is that clear, everyone? Finally, connection is closed and all set. So let me call the method, this one, and we are calling here SC. And after calling here SC, then semicolon is there. Right click, run as Java application. It is asking, I'm pressing choice number 5. Please enter the roll number. Let's say that roll number I'm writing is R001. Hitting enter. Am I getting all the information for roll number R001? Visible it is. Perfect. 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 Now let me try again choice number 5. And this time let's say I'm talking about R002. So there is practically no scholar available with the roll number R002. Why it is not available? You can see the records. The scholars are available with the roll number R001, R003, and then R004, but there is no scholar available with the roll number R002. Make sense, everybody? Yes, it is. Now I hope that you are comfortable with the result set, how this is working, what this logic is, etc., etc. Yes or no? Perfect, it is. That's good. So this is what actually referred as CRUD operation. This is what exactly referred as CRUD operation. And the same kind of thing you have to do in your project. The same kind of thing you have to do into your project. So this is one example that we have done so far. Any suggestion from your side? Any improvement that you wanted to suggest in this code? Or it is looking perfect? Perfect it is? Yes. This code is actually only connect once in main method. No. See, everybody, one scholar is actually giving a suggestion that can we make connection in the public static void main like we have created object of scanner. It seems reasonable, but practically it is not reasonable. And why it is not reasonable, try to understand. For example, everyone, let's say that you started your program, and once you started your program, initially you created a connection. So can I say that your connection will remain open till you close the program? Yes or no? Definitely. And do you think that keeping the database connection, which is a sensitive resource, open for such long time period, do you think that it is okay? Because once the database connection is already opened, So it's riskier to keep it open for a long time, because let's say that if some hacker is there who is able to intercept that yes, connection is opened, if anyhow he is able to get the connection object, then he can destroy your database. Middleman attack is possible. So it's always a good practice that open the connection, fire the query, close the connection immediately, no matter whether you are going to do the same job for 10 times. Overall, your connection should be open for the minimum time. Getting my point? Okay, that's good. Now, after this explanation, I receive this query. Anybody who would love to answer this query after all that explanation? Please pay attention in the class properly. This is the only thing that I can say. So simple concept is there. You are calling a method, you are going to perform an operation. When you are going to perform an operation, immediately open a connection. And after opening a connection, fire your query, then close the connection. Going to perform next operation, open the connection, fire your query, close the connection. This is the safest approach that we can do. This is the safest approach that we can do, because keeping any connection open is always risky. Keeping a connection open is always a riskier one, because every time you are getting a new connection object, so no problem in this. Well, this part is done. So one improvement that I wanted to suggest. The improvement is that, isn't it better? Because see, if I'm talking about the search student by roll number, and if I'm talking about the view student list, then in both the cases, can you see that, sir, we are writing this code, which looks perfectly okay, but better if we can check whether the result set is empty or not. Better if we can create a separate method for this. Getting what I wanted to say? Otherwise, if else, I have to write down for multiple times, because select operation is very common. You can write down in this manner, but this is not always the case that you are going to print it immediately. No, this is not always the case. Better to create a separate method so that we can check whether the result set is empty or not. See, execute query method is there. After the execute query method, definitely immediately we are going to check whether the result set is empty or not. So first condition, definitely the result set initially, it should be before the first row. Yes or no? As I am firing the query in the line number 92, 93, 92. Once the query is fired in the line number 92, so can I say that the result set initially it will be available before the first row? Yes or no? Definitely by default it will be available before the first row. This is point number one. And if I'm asking that how many records it is having, then definitely there is one more method available. The name of the method is called get row count. So how to write down the logic? Just try to understand. I'm giving you one solid logic that will work for you forever. The logic is that I am writing if result set dot is before first. Then I'm writing end condition. After the end condition, then there is one more method available. The name of the method is called get row method. The name of the method is called get row method. See what exactly it is returning. It retrieved the current row number, but the first row number is 1, second row number is 2, and so on. If the current row number is 0, then there is no current row. So can I say that if rs dot get row is returning you 0, then can I assume that result set is empty? Yes or no? You can refer to documentation. Yes, it is. This is the choice that exactly I am writing. What is the logic of is before first? It retrieves whether the cursor is before the first row of the result set object. True if the cursor is before the first row, false if the cursor is at any other position or the result set contains no row. Look at this condition. It is actually going to return you false when cursor is at any other position or the result set contains no row. If the result set does not contain any row, then definitely the output of rs dot is before first will be false. Yes or no? So simple, I can say that the returned value of rs dot is before first is false when no record in the result set. Yes or no? Similarly, can I say that the returned value of rs dot get row is 0 when no record is available in the result set? So collectively what I'm writing, if both these conditions are true, then can I guarantee that result set is empty? Yes or no? Make sense? All the comments are written for you. Clear everybody? What is the advantage of using this method? The advantage of using this method is you are not supposed to call rs.next. The advantage of this approach is that you are not supposed to call rs.next method to check whether the result set is empty or not. Yes or no? So always whenever you wanted to check whether the result set is empty or not, then please be in the habit of always using both the conditions. Always be in this habit. So right now everyone see what exactly I am doing. Why don't we use one of the two? Because actually see the problem is that everyone, if you are talking about why we are not using anyone, why we are not using anyone, first of all, take a look at is before first. If the is before first is returning you false, then can you guarantee that there is no record? Read the description, please. If the rs dot is before first is returning you false, then can you guarantee that there is no record in the database? Check the highlighted description, please. You cannot guarantee it because let's say that if your result set, you are getting the result set from some third method and the result set has already executed next method. In this condition also, it will give you false. Yes or no? So can I say that using the is before result alone is not a good decision? Using is before first alone is not a good decision because you can get result set from anywhere. You can get result set from anywhere. But if you are combining both of them, then definitely it is guaranteed. Make sense? If you are combining both, then definitely it is guaranteed. So in this condition, everyone, can I say that if this condition is true, then definitely no record found is what I can print. Clear it is? Yes, it is. That's good. That's good. So I'm going to modify the code slightly. The code that I'm going to, okay, one more thing. This code I have to write down here also. Then the same code I have to write down into the search student by roll number also. So again, it is better to create a single method. Yes or no? Definitely. So I am going to create one more method. The name of the method I am writing is static boolean is result set empty. The name of the method is called is result set empty. And here what exactly the parameter I am getting? I am getting the parameter result set rs. After writing the parameter of result set rs, then I'm writing here throws the exception. Definitely it's SQL exception. And then the same condition I need to cut from here. After cutting this condition from here, then I'm writing here return. And this entire code I have to put within a parenthesis. And cut. Then here I have to write down here. If this method is returning you false, then we have to provide that no record found or no student found is what we can write down. For your convenience, comments are placed properly. So if result set is actually giving you, if is result set empty method, if it is giving you false, then definitely no record found. Otherwise, now can you see that I have to make changes here also? This time, if you are here, then definitely your result set has one or more record. But can I say that your result set is now before the first record? Yes or no? Because I have not used next method. So your result set is now before the first record. And if it is before the first record, then I have to make some minor changes. The minor change I have to do is this time I have to use conventional while loop in this manner. Clear everybody? This time I have to use conventional while loop. So while rs.next, definitely record is available, it is guaranteed. You are before the first record. So first data about the first record is printed, then data about the second record will be printed, then data about third record will be printed. This code is going to work 100%. Okay, getting my point? What is the advantage of creating this one? Because this is something that is easier to read. This is something that is easier to read. But the previous way that you were using, this is also okay, no problem in this, if it is only for printing. Similarly, everybody, don't you think that the same logic I have to write down at the bottom also? Definitely, same logic I have to write down here also. So again, if the result set is empty, then it is better to print the message that no student found for the given roll number into the else statement. This time actually it is guaranteed that a student with the roll number is found. So there is only one record available. Is that clear? Yes or no? Please read the comment line number 224 and line number 225. Comfortable? If you are here means definitely roll number is found and result set is containing only one record, and definitely your result set is already before the first. If your result set is already before the first, no need to write down any while loop, because you just need to write down one thing, and after writing this thing only, then directly take this statement as it is. Please check. Is that clear? Okay. So shall I try to run this code? Now this time reusable components are available for you. So definitely you can use them a number of times. So let me write down choice number 2. So when I'm writing choice number 2, it shows no record found. So something is wrong with my logic. Let me check. Something is wrong with my logic. Is before first. So what exactly the case is? If the cursor is written true, if the cursor is before the first. Second thing, it return false if the cursor is at any other position or the resultant contains no record. If there is no record available, then this portion is going to give us false, and definitely the opposite of false is true. Then there is next method available, that is called getRow method. If it returns the current row number, if 0, if there is no current row. So this condition should be true, but it is giving me my mistake, my bad. Condition is okay. By mistake, I have used negation operator here. My bad. Right click, run as Java application, enter selection. It's 2. We are getting all the records. Enter selection 5. Provide the roll number. The value of roll number is R001. So definitely roll number R001, name CDE percentage 75.25. Admission date is also there. Clear or not? Once try for R002. Okay, on the demand of public. Again, enter selection 5. This time we are talking about the roll number R002. Hitting enter, it shows the message, no student with roll number R002. Is that clear? Anything else that you wanted to ask? Thank you. Visit again is available for you. So entire code is written. One scholar is asking one question. The question is, any more improvement? Do you people have any suggestion? Okay, that's good. Some answers I received that well optimized, etc., not required. That's good. Overall, everybody, now one honest reply. How many of you think that without creating assignment for 2 times, you will be able to write down this type of code? Anybody here who think that without doing assignment for the 2 time, I will be able to write down this quality of code? Definitely, all are you are writing true, not possible. So assignments are there for you. Do the assignments, then you will find that writing code is not difficult, but definitely it requires a lot of efforts as well as practice. And this type of questions are very important. Definitely they are part of your assignment also. Definitely they will be available in further papers also. They will be available on your interview questions also. Getting my hint? Yes or no? How important it is? Yes. So this part is done. This part is done. So in this example, I'm not going to make any more changes, but let me give you some good tips that will be very much useful for you in the quiz also, as well as in the submission of the project also. So for example, everybody, I'm creating one new class and the name of the class I am writing is test class. Into the test class, I am writing one static block. While writing the static block system.out.println, let's say that I am writing the output. This is static 1. Thereafter, I am defining the constructor also. Within the constructor, for example, let's say that I am writing here, this is going to be test number 1. Then I'm creating one more block and this block is completely empty block. And for example, here I am printing that this is going to be non-static 1. After writing non-static 1, then again I'm creating one more static block. And after creating one more static block, I'm writing system.out.println and then I'm writing here static number 2. System.out, then I'm writing main method. And after writing the main method, then I'm creating one object of test class. And after writing the object of the test class, that's all. Can you tell me what will be the output of this code? Can you tell me what will be the output of this code? Please write down the complete output. Hmm. First thing is clear for all. That's a static block is going to be called first. Perfectly okay. Static block is going to be called first. That is perfectly okay because we know it very well as the class is getting loaded. Static blocks are called and definitely static blocks are called in the order of their writing. So if I'm talking about the output, then definitely the first output is going to be static 1. Second output is going to be static 2. I don't think there will be any objection to anyone in this. Yes or no? Yes or no? Because static block is something that is called before code execution. Yes or no? Before main method. Something. And definitely this static method is also going to be before main, but in the order of writing. But in the order of writing. This is what actually we have already done. If I'm talking about constructor, then I think you know it very well that constructor is called at the time of object creation. Yes or no? Yes, it is. And if I'm talking about this block, then this block is actually called the non-static block, and non-static block is actually called before the object creation. It is called before the object creation. So now I'm writing here inside the main, and after writing inside the main, then I'm writing two equal to new test again. So see, definitely first output is static 1, next output will be static 2. Then I'm going to create the object, and definitely before the object creation, non-static block will be called. Now object is being created, so definitely constructor will be called. After constructor is called, then definitely the output is going to be in the main function. And after this, in the main function, again I'm going to create object, and again non-static block will be called. And after the non-static block, finally the thing that is going to be called is again constructor. Please take a look at the output. Please take a look at the output. Comfortable? Static, non-static block. This is just a small exercise for you. Because I think static block you are comfortable with, but non-static block is something you are not comfortable with, in best of my knowledge. Am I right? That's good. That's good. See, if you wanted to see the let's say I'm available into the DB main, and into the DB main, if I wanted to see the code of this com.mysql.cj.jdbc.driver class, then definitely you will find one thing. The thing that you are going to find is it will give you a message, and the message you are finding is source code not available. The message that you will find is source code not available. Is that properly visible, everyone? Audio video signals okay? One caller is reporting lagging issue. Simple. Audio video signals are okay? Yes or no? Seems yes. So the problem is that everybody, MySQL jar file is attached, but its source code is not visible. If you wanted to attach the source code, then you need to click on attach source. After clicking on attach source, I am using external location. Then click on attach source. Then click on external location. Click on external file. Then on the desktop, already the file I have saved is MySQL connector jar file. Then I need to click on OK, and you can see that source code is available for you. Make sense, everybody? You can watch the recording again. You can watch the recording again. Just actually click on driver.class, click on the attach source, then select the file that you have downloaded on day one. That's all. Done. Is that clear? This is how actually you can attach the source code. Now one scholar was asking me one thing. One scholar was asking me one thing. He was asking that, sir, you are actually writing class.foundname com.mysql.cj.jdbc.driver. What is exactly going behind the scene? So first question, whenever a class is getting loaded, then its static block will be called, yes or no? Simple logic. Whenever a class is getting loaded, then its static block will be called. Can you see that as class.forName is going to be executed, automatically its static method is called, yes or no? And this time, the driver manager is actually registering the driver. Make sense, everybody? This time, the driver manager is actually registering the driver. And at the time of registering the driver, don't you think that it is creating object of itself, such that this driver class is actually part of com.mysql.cj.jdbc package. So can I say, as the class is getting loaded, immediately MySQL driver is automatically registered with the JVM? Yes or no? Clear this is? As you are executing the statement class.foundName, driver class will be loaded. When the driver class is loaded, static method is called, and this static method is registering the driver class by creating the object of driver class of com.mysql.cj.jdbc package. So definitely MySQL's driver class is loaded into the JVM. Is that okay? Yes, it is. That's all for the day. That's all for the day. Can you show the register driver code? One scholar is asking, can you show the register driver code? Only that line. Only that line. One second. Register driver method. No problem. Register driver. See. Register driver method is of which package? It is of java.sql package. Driver manager is a class. Within the class, there is register driver method available, which is a static method. And this static method is actually accepting an object of driver class, such that driver class object is created here with the new keyword. So can I say that an object of MySQL.driver class is passed here? Then it is calling the register driver method. The register driver method is then actually calling some other methods, so on, so on, so on. So you don't have to worry so much. I told you because it was a doubt that was asked to you. So everyone, you are requested to fill the feedback form. Rest everything is okay. Assignment is already there. Make sure to do the assignment. Otherwise, tomorrow it is going to be a useless session. That I do not want. But tomorrow's session is extremely important. We will work on the same project again and we will make this project more efficient. But first thing, you must make assignments. Okay. I will share this project entire. Don't worry. I will share the entire project as well as database file. Don't worry. Bye everyone. Fill the form.